that's the kind of stuff they'll hear you playing in Nashville. What, first part of August? You've got a series of concerts coming up at Cafe Milano?
Cafe Milano, yeah, down on 3rd Avenue. I'll start playing there once a week, 2 shows a night. We hope there'll be that many people.
Now, you're going to have some special guests with all your friends dropping in?
Oh,
and
yeah,
if so, do you want to tell me who they're going to be or share that with us?
Well,
or is that going to be a
just
surprise?
whoever wants to drop in. The first night is kind of a media event, and we'll have quite a few guests. And then in the future, whoever wants to drop in and play a tune.
You ever discover anybody in that sort of environment who drops in, or some guy gets up there that maybe you're not aware of, is a friend of a friend?
I don't do that anymore, but I guess at one time I did. I heard people that impressed me, and I was working for a record label, but I try to play that down now. I don't want any more tapes, or I don't want to produce any temperamental artist anymore.
Speaking of that, with all the great talent during the RCA years that you worked with, who was the hardest to rein in the studio to keep them focused? Anybody in particular?
Well, I can tell you my favorites to work with, that would be much more interesting.
Okay,
Bobby Bare and Don Gibson. I hate to mention, because you forget some, Eddie Arnold was always easy, Hank Snow and the Browns. And
now, I would think that Jerry Reed would be a challenge to keep focused.
Well, Jerry Reed was, he came in like a cyclone every time he came in.
Went out the same way, didn't he?
Yeah, and I was kind of intimidated by him because he's so talented, you know. Anything he thought of was better than anything I would ever think of.
Didn't you once say about him that he was probably the best natural guitar picker? Did I read something?
Yeah, he's one of the greatest ever, and one of the most creative. He changed the direction completely of guitar playing about 1960 when he sent me a tune titled I called it Down Home. He didn't have a title.
Yeah.
But it was so good, and it still is. You know, it's still just great stuff. He thinks like a piano player and has a great approach to guitar. But I'm hoping the Cafe Milano thing will be good, and because people ask me all the time, do you play anywhere in Nashville? And I always say no. So now I can say, yes, ma'am.
That's right, beginning August 5th.
Come on down.
Cafe
right.
Milano, it'll be Chet Atkins. Let's talk about your work, Almost Alone. That's been out now since in the spring, I guess it came out.
Yeah.
Now, how do you determine after all these years, you mentioned taking tapes and people passing things on to you. How do you determine what songs you're going to put on there?
You know, I recorded a lot of tunes and finally decided I want to use these and standards, and I think I got more time now to write since I'm not so busy as a producer, and so I just selected the things I thought showed off my playing better than any others, and it's tough. I need a producer, really.
Wait,
I need somebody.
Imagine Chet Atkins saying he needs a producer.
No, I need somebody to say that's good.
Anybody in the audience willing to volunteer? I came across a story in preparation for your visit that said that your first instrument was a ukulele, and you strung it with screen door wire over in East Tennessee. Is that true?
The strings finally, they call them catgut strings back in those days.
Yeah.
I think they're made out of sheep, not cat. And anyway, the strings finally went gradually as I plunked on it, so there'd always a dog or something would run through the screen door, and you could rip off a wire, tune it up, and it'd stay in tune a little while, you know. And then
did you come from a big family, brothers and sisters?
No, in my immediate family, there were 3 kids, and then I have a bunch of half-brothers and sisters scattered around the world. My dad was married 5 times, and so I have kinfolks all over. He was a traveling man. He was a choir director, and
any choir directors here tonight? They want to admit it at this point. Okay.
He was a choir director, and he taught voice and piano. You know, he taught Roy Acuff. I've got pictures of Roy in his pictures where he taught singing schools when Roy was about 11, 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you play other instruments? I know we talked about the ukulele. I think you played the fiddle early on in your career, didn't you?
I play the fiddle now, but not in front of her. Oh, what's her name over there? But I play. I learned to play the fiddle when I was a kid. My uncle gave me a fiddle, and he didn't have a bow, and we went out and